Welcome back to my channel Trading Secrets. This channel is for entertainment purposes only. For those of you who do not know, my name is Ali. I have over 20 years experience teaching accounting, economics, business and law through this channel. I'll be providing some stock analysis and a quick update on the $1 Million Challenge. So if anybody's not aware of this is a journey of investment of $1,000 to a return of $1 million over a period of 3 years using a strategy called compound return investing. So the objective is try to get 201 trades, each with a return of 3.5%. It's not 201 consecutive trades, we do take into account losses. So for further details about how to join us for less than $9 a month, the information is available in the description below. In today's video, we're going to be looking at a huge earning beat for our Snapchat, tick symbol SNAP, and also the link between TikTok uncertainty and potential good news going forward for Snapchat. We're also going to be looking at earnings review of AMD and also Google, which were announced yesterday, and also we're looking at MMTLP and asking the question, will Trump and Vance give us resolution? So before we get started, let's have a look at what's happening in the market. So first of all, we can see in terms of an overall summary on the previous market day, there is still a significant amount of volatility. Tesla is losing the Scandinavian market share. Vanguard are cutting fees, and in terms of the OpenAI's new agent, they have launched ChatGPT Deep Research. So that is in response to what's happening with China. So let's now move on to have a look at earnings for AMD shared live in the Discord, and we can see they reported earnings of $1.09 per share on revenue of $7.66 billion. So for the fourth quarter ending December 2024, so the consensus estimate was $1.09, so that's a match, and the consensus estimate for revenue was $7.52 billion, so quite a significant beat there. And what we can see is the company missed expectations by 1.8%. However, revenue grew by 24.16% year on year, so the price did go down, and I think it's still going down after the market right now and also pre-market. But the CEO Lisa Su stated AI is clearly a steep part of the curve and we should expect a lot of innovation. So let's see how AMD plays out. Let's move on to have a look at Google, and from Yahoo Finance we can see again similar to AMD, Alphabet stock is tumbling after cloud revenue miss and also spending growth. So let's delve a little bit deeper into the earnings. So for the quarter, Google reported earnings per share of $2.15 on revenue of $96.4 billion. So analysts were looking for earnings per share of $2.13, so that's a beat. They were also looking for revenue of $96.6 billion, so a miss by $0.2 billion. So advertising revenue topped $72.4 billion versus expectations of $71.7 billion, so a good beat there. And cloud revenue hit $11.9 billion, and this is where the miss was, falling short of the $12.1 billion. So again, Google down, but however, I think under $200, I certainly think Google is a potential here for a good opportunity to buy, because there is a little bit of negative reaction, but they have also stated here the reaction underscores concerns with rivals such as Microsoft with its OpenAI partnership are better positioned to convert AI into the revenue, said the investing.com analyst Jesse Cohen. So let's see what happens going forward there. And another news shared in the Discord with regard to Rocket Lab, again another stock that has been featured a number of occasions on the channel. So the good news here shared live is they have secured a full launch deal with IQPS, expanding their role in deploying Japan's SAR satellite constellation. So and finally, I'm going to share with you again a chart for TEM. So this is a stock that has been featured on the channel on a number of occasions, Tempest AI, and since Nancy bought this, it's currently up over 94%. So we did cover this instantly in the channel and also on the Discord, tick symbol TEM, Tempest AI. Let's now have a look at earnings for Snapchat and potential implications of the TikTok uncertainty. So from the fourth quarter and full year 2024 financial results, we can see in terms of a summary, the fourth quarter revenue was increased by 14% year on year and currently stands at $1.57 million. So very positive there. Daily active users increased by 9% over the year to 453 million daily active users. Fourth quarter net income was currently reported as $9 million. So obviously profit making now. Fourth quarter operating cash flow, we're looking at $231 million and free cash flow $182 million. So very healthy there from a financial point of view. In terms of the financial summary, we can see here adjusted EBITDA was $276 million compared to $159 million. So a significant beat there. And if we look at the key highlights in terms of what they are focusing on going forward, they are looking at deepening their engagement with the community, and they're stated here that more than 1 billion snaps were shared publicly on Snapchat every month in the fourth quarter. And what they're also focusing on is accelerating and diversifying their revenue growth. So they have ongoing momentum and a direct response to products and growth in small and medium sized businesses, and that has led to more active advertisers, and that has been doubling year on year in the fourth quarter. So positive news, have also launched their Brand Dreams All AI Lens with partners such as Uber Eats and Tinder. So again, positive diversification examples there. So let's have a look at the news with regard to TikTok. So we can see here from news.az, Snapchat surpasses the profit expectations and shares are rising amid the TikTok ban uncertainty. So overall, if we look at the strengths and a summary of Snapchat, we can see here they have a strong brand and unique user base, innovation in augmented reality, and they're looking at expanding revenue diversification, which we've just seen. So in terms of the weaknesses, heavy reliance on advertising revenue, increasing competition from larger platforms such as TikTok that we are seeing now does face some uncertainty, so that could potentially be positive for Snapchat, and also profitability challenges. Have a look at MMTLP, and the first shout out here is to Nancy Dane, who's updated us with another section with her book, and she states here that this is a sample of the new novel. Remember, it is fiction and not a history book. However, we do know it is based on some factual events with regard to MMTLP. So she's using a fictional character by the name of Trey, and I think some of the MMTLP community have suggested that this may not be a relevant name, especially with regard to Trey Trades, but I think she is going to stick with the name Trey. So basically, Shane, here it's referring to a friend called Jerry who owned a stock in an oil and gas company. She's using the name Modern Energy, based in Texas, and then obviously she's talking about the gas company was in serious financial trouble, so we're talking about TRCH there, and the Canadian company wanted to be listed on the NASDAQ, so the Canadian company being Meta Materials. Then she goes on to say, without authorization of the shareholders or the CEO, the shares under the new symbol, she's stating here MELLT, began trading on the OTC, and then she shares some quotes here. That is strange, she said. Who filed and paid for this to be listed? What's more is the weirdness. Nobody knows. The CEO swears he didn't and has no idea. FOIA request submitted to the SEC, have not produced anything. So that's the snippet there. But let's move on to look at news with regard to Schwab. And what Scott has stated is, Schwab people, they are at it again. MMTLP with Wales Holdings I have talked to have seen a 10 to 20% flux in their accounts. Schwab, he's stating here, is potentially in big trouble. You can expect them not to bring the audio of the Fleming to any of the arbitration hearing. Remember, they had it, they destroyed it or allegedly lost it, then they found it, then they know that if it gets front of an arbitration panel, they may be cooked beyond $290 a share. So that is in response to a post from Mike, who's talked about Schwab potentially ghosting him, but obviously he has receipts, $2.4 million, but that is not with regard to MMTLP. That is a separate complaint, but it could be relevant. And finally, I'm going to share a post here from Happy and Positive, who's talked about Chris Rose. Remember, Chris Rose has appeared on a number of space calls. He is now obviously in government. He's a senator, and he states here that what Happy and Positive states here is that Chris Rose shares the fact that Donald Trump Jr., Robert Kennedy Jr., Elon Musk and Devin Nunes are all pushing for MMTLP resolution and an AMC investigation, and those in Donald Trump's inner circle are involved. So this is using evidence from a space call from Senator Chris Rose with a response to AMC and also MMTLP. So I'm going to play you this snippet from the space call, and then I'm sure you can make your own mind up.
Even a little further, not only do we need investigation, but in the meantime, Gary Gensler and Hester Pierce both need removed immediately at the SEC. Robert Kennedy Jr., who I've had some good conversations with, feels the same way. Donald Trump Jr. feels the same way, and Elon Musk, who's now part of the Trump administration, feels the same way. So that's when I'm talking about some of the exciting things we have going on. We have some people now in Trump's inner circle, in his ear. Devin Nunes is another one with the DJT stock. So there, there's been some other people that's finally had it happen to them. That's now put AMC on their radar, has put other, retail investor stocks on their radar. They kind of wanted to tune it out, and they may have thought it was conspiracy theory at first, but when it happened to them, it finally opened their eyes. So to answer your question, that is actually on the list of stuff to investigate. It's not only 2024, but 2021. There's also some other stuff like MMTLP, and there's so many other ones that are on the list of what RFK Jr. is pushing and what Donald Trump Jr. and Devin Nunes are pushing to really, truly drain the swamp at the SEC. I know that's a catchy slogan that we use over here on Team Trump, but I will reiterate, they truly want to take an outsider and bring him in the SEC. I recommended someone like Charles Payne. He may not be willing to do it because he makes a lot of money at Fox Business, but the reason why I brought him up, of all the people that cover the markets that have a voice established already, he was one of the only people that was willing to talk about it, and he would actually call Gary Gensler out. And there's actually some interviews where he got real nasty with Hester Pierce for lying right on the air.
Finally, if you'd like to get a copy of our daily stock alerts as well as our weekly watch list shared prior to trading on the Monday, you can look at joining us. Details are in the description below. Thank you very much for watching. Please stay tuned.